Y'all know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
Probably like 3 or 4 times in the last 10 years, I have lived somewhere that my neighbor was making too much damn noise and I had to confront that individual. Sometimes it was a male, sometimes it was a female, sometimes it was a male and a female. I'll tell you a time. This is in South Beach. I had this neighbor who was this redneck ass white guy. I think he was scared of black people. Either he was scared of black people or he hated black people, one or the other. I think he was more scared. Because one day, because our walls was like right next to each other, and where I was sleeping was near, I think he had a TV mounted on the wall, or he had a TV right up against the wall, and his TV used to be too damn loud. Whatever he was watching, you could hear the baritone of the voices or whatever he was watching on TV. So, and this is like 11 o'clock at night one night on a weekday. So I get up, go knock on his door. He didn't answer the door, of course, but I knew he was home because it was like 11 o'clock at night and the TV was on every night. So then I banged on the door. Like I was banging on his door hard as shit. I was banging on his door hard as hell, right? And the way it was, any of you ever been to South Beach, the way some of the apartments are, is that it's a screen door, like this hard metal screen door, and then there's a regular door behind the metal screen door. Usually you keep the metal screen door locked because somebody might, just to keep from people breaking in your house. It ain't like that no more, but South Beach used to be kind of reckless. This is back in the Scarface days in the 80s. So anyway, he opens the regular door. The screen door is still locked. He opens the door and he opened it like an old lady. Like you ever knock on an old lady's door and she opened the door like just enough that you can see her face, but you can't see the rest of her body. So she's like peeking between the crack. So he opened the door like that. This is a grown man. He's not no little dude. This dude's like 6'4". He like taller than me damn near, white guy. He opens the door, older guy though. He's like 50, probably 50, 60 years old or something. He opens the door. He's like, I'm calling the police. And then he slams the door. So I didn't even say a word. I'm just standing there. He opens the door. I'm calling the police and he closes the door. So we didn't even have a conversation, no type of exchange. So then I just went back in my place and I'm like, damn, because I was trying to sleep, mind you, when all this happened. But then I couldn't go back to sleep. I'm like, let me just sit up because I know he actually is going to call the police. Because sometimes you can just tell. You ever see somebody, you can just see fear in their face when you see them? I could tell that he was afraid of black people. So when he saw me, I'm like 6'4", I'm black. So I knew he was kind of wary of black people, and we living right next door to each other. So when he saw it was me banging on his door, I knew he wasn't going to have a conversation with me. So he did call the cops. The cops came. Nothing happened. I went out there and told him, like, yo, this gentleman right here, his TV was too loud. I knocked on his door to get him to turn it down. He ignored it. I know he heard me knocking on the door. He ignored it, so I knocked harder, and then he claimed he was going to call the cops. And his wife, he had a wife with him, and they was both out. They was both standing outside at this point because there's 2 cops out there in between me and him. And his wife's like, yeah, he's banging on our door so hard, we thought he was going to break our door down. I'm like, listen, those metal screen doors in South Beach, those can't be broken down by man, or maybe by the Incredible Hulk or something. But anyway, the point of it is, I confronted that guy. Then later on, there was a time I was living in, even in college, I've confronted people being too loud. And I lived in this condo once. There's people next door making too much noise. Confronted them. Then the security people was telling me, don't do that. He'd call us. And then this morning, I had a neighbor who, I don't know what the hell she be doing, Spanish chick. I didn't know who it was. I didn't know it was a man, woman. I knocked on her door this morning because her TV be too loud at night. She's always watching TV. First of all, I know she's probably a loser because she's always watching TV every single night. It'd be like 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I'm a light sleeper. So I hear this stuff. My lady don't be hearing that, but I be hearing it. So you ever have somebody making too much noise next door to you and you just bang on the wall and then they stop making so much noise? So like 3 times in the last month, I banged on the wall and the noise stopped. And again, I didn't even know who was living there. I never even seen them. I never see them. They never see me. So then this morning I was already awake, but she was listening to some kind of music and it was way too loud. I'm like, yo, if I was sleeping, that would have woke me up. So I knocked on her door this morning. This little Spanish chick. She opened the door like an old lady, like peeking her head out, not showing the rest of her body. And I'm talking to her. I'm like, yo, this has been like 3 times in the last 2 weeks. And you've been making too much noise. It's too loud. And then she started saying something about, I go to work on these days, so I listen to music. I'm like, listen, I listen to music too, but you've never been disturbed by my music, have you? And of course, she didn't have nothing to say to that. And the conclusion was, listen, miss, just keep the music down because you're disturbing me. So anyway, the point of it is this, because it was no nothing happened. There was no adversity or anything like that. The fact of the matter is most people would deal with those situations and not do nothing. Most people would have the person next door making too much noise and they would never knock on the door. They would never say nothing. They would never bang on that old redneck guy's door because the TV was too damn loud and have him call the cops. He called the cops because I knocked on his door for making too much noise. Isn't that crazy? So he was afraid of me. I would see him anytime we would see each other. He wouldn't even look me in my face for like, and this is like, when this happened, I had just moved into the place and I lived there for like a year, more than a year, and he stayed living. He was there before me, he was there after me. He never looked me in my face once after that. So that was funny. But anyway, the point of it is this, ladies and gentlemen, what you fail to confront in life, anything that you fail to confront, if there's a person you're dealing with and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, if there's somebody doing some shady, like underhanded shit, and you won't confront it and you won't say nothing to them, if you're working with somebody, you got an employee who's not doing their job the way they're supposed to be doing their job, but you don't say nothing, if you're in a relationship with somebody, any type of relationship, business relationship, friendship, intimate relationship, and that person is doing something that is bothering you, something that you see as an issue, but you won't confront it. You won't say anything about it. You won't do nothing. You're afraid to have that conversation. That thing will own you and it will continue to confront you over and over and over again. And every single time you fail to confront it, it gets stronger. Every time something that you should confront, you don't confront, that thing gets stronger. It's kind of just like fear. When you run away from fear, the fear gets bigger. When you step up to fear, the fear goes away. It's the same thing with confrontation, ladies and gentlemen. And people see confrontation, when I use the word confrontation, people see that as negative. Like, oh, confrontation. Like, they think it means a fist fight or people pulling out guns and weapons and domestic violence charges. Not necessarily. A confrontation could just be a conversation between two people where we don't agree on something. So you can also call it a conversation. But see, if you call it a conversation, people don't understand. A conversation is this right here. Confrontation is more when I'm thinking this way, you thinking that way, and we gotta work this out, either by conversation or by some other means. The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, I heard Tim Ferriss say this. I don't know if he originated it, but I heard him say it. Is that the level of the quality of your life will be directly reflected, ladies and gentlemen, in the amount and the level of uncomfortable conversations you are willing to have. I'm going to say it one more time. The quality of your life will be directly reflected in the number and the level of uncomfortable conversations you are willing to have. So what does that mean? See, this morning, it was an uncomfortable situation. I could have easily just said, all right, well, no, by the time I knocked on this woman's door, the music wasn't even playing no more. And the thing with the TV be happening at like 11, 12 o'clock at night. So this happened, it was in the morning today. What you got to understand is that I could have easily just said, all right, well, the music's off now. I could just forget about it. Maybe it won't happen again. And that's what a lot of people do in life. They get this situation that confronts them. They know they need to say something. They know they need to do something, but they do nothing because what we do is we rationalize. Human beings, we're the only animals with the ability to rationalize because we have these huge brains with this great capability of thinking. So we say to ourselves, oh, well, it's not that bad. It is annoying what my husband does when he does that all the time. Or I hate that when my girlfriend says that in front of people, but, I'm not going to say anything. It's over now. It wasn't that bad. It was all in good fun. It's messed up that my boss keeps doing that every day. I don't like the way he says that to me in front of everybody at the board meetings, but, he's the boss. Let's just let it go. And that's what most people do. They rationalize things. Rationalization means you take something that you don't like, but with our brains are so complex. We have such powerful brains. We're able to take things that we don't like, and we're able to change the story in our mind and make it seem like it's okay. Any of y'all ever did that before or know somebody who's done that? You take something that you don't like, but you're able to fix the story around and change everything around in your mind and lie to yourself to the point that you're like, oh, it's not that bad. I can let that go. And that's what happens to people. They fail to have these conversations. They fail to have these uncomfortable conversations and put themselves in uncomfortable situations. If you're an athlete, I'm sure you've heard this before. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you're in sales, you heard this before. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. It doesn't matter what you do in life. There are going to be times in life, ladies and gentlemen, where you need to confront a situation. You need to confront a person. You need to confront something in the mirror. If you fail to have those conversations, if you fail to confront things that are confronting you, that thing will own you. And the longer you put it off, every time you put it off, you're making yourself a little bit weaker, and you're making that thing that you're failing to confront a little bit stronger. And that's something that a lot of people deal with, that, and they deal with it through their entire lives as a problem, because a lot of people are afraid of confrontation. That's just the fact of the matter. People are afraid of confrontation. People are afraid of stepping to somebody and saying, yo, your TV is too loud. Yo, your music is too loud. Yo, I don't like the way that you parked your car too close to mine. Like, hey, I don't like the fact that you keep saying that to me when we're having these meetings. People are afraid of having these conversations because they're afraid of what they think might happen. What we call it is attaching false consequences to hypothetical situations. That means, and I'm going to say that one more time. People take a hypothetical situation. That means something that did not happen yet. They're like, all right, well, I had a friend once, and she was saying, this thing that this person is doing, she was telling me about it, is bothering me. She was complaining about this other person to me. And I said, well, why don't you just confront that person and let them know that this thing is bothering you? And she said, well, if I do that, then it means, that person might get mad at me, or they might get angry, or they might make it a whole big thing. And I don't want to make it a big thing between all of us. And I said, so you're afraid of something that didn't even happen yet? And she kind of got annoyed with me. Like, no, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Like, you are afraid. Because the fact that you won't have a conversation, you're complaining about something to me when the person that you should be confronting, you should be having this conversation with that person. But you're afraid of having that conversation with them because you're afraid of what might happen. You don't even know what they're going to do. You have no idea, no proof, but you're afraid of what might happen. And everybody has these problems in life that they go through. And the more you're able to recognize them. See, step one that I do when I work with people is, first you got to be able to recognize when something is not how it's supposed to be. When something's fucked up, you got to first recognize, all right, this is fucked up. All right, until you can say, like, you know what, this right here is not where it's supposed to be. This is not good. Until you can have that conversation with yourself, you can't confront anything. After you confront that, after you say that to yourself, like, all right, you know what? This woman and this damn TV every night is not good. I'm not letting this go no more. So I'm going to go knock on that door. That's step one, is that you got to say this is not acceptable. That's step one. Step two is that you got to have the fortitude, intestinal fortitude. For men, we call it testicular fortitude. You got to have the fortitude to go approach the situation that is bothering you. And the situation might be something just between you and yourself. It might be you and your child. It might be you and your boss. It might be you and a stranger that you don't even know. But you must be willing to confront the situation. Everything that you are not willing to confront will own you for as long as you choose not to confront it, ladies and gentlemen. Testicular fortitude. You never heard that before, Leo Garcia? That's a phrase that in sports and athletics that gets thrown around a lot. Testicular fortitude. But for everyone, since I know we have females here too, intestinal fortitude. Basically in your gut. Do you have the heart? Everything here in your torso. Do you have the heart? Can you stomach this? You ever hear somebody say, can you stomach this situation? That's intestinal fortitude. Can you stomach it? Are you going to throw up, or are you going to shit yourself when you confront this situation? Everybody doesn't have the intestinal fortitude to confront things. So for those of you who don't know me, I'll take a couple questions. Anybody got a question? I saw some comments. It also depends on how you confront the person. Well, that's not the conversation we have. Every time I have, there's always people who come in with the Captain Obvious statements. Yes, we know that it depends on how you confront the person. Everything in life depends. All right, there are nuances to every single thing that I could possibly say. So yes, we understand that. Thank you for your comment. The point of it is, ladies and gentlemen, is that you must be willing to confront situations. Anything you don't confront will own you. And I'll take questions if anybody got any. My name's Dre all day, for those who don't know me. My background is professional athlete. I am a professional speaker, entrepreneur. I'm a salesperson. I'm a coach and consultant, author of 6 books. Did y'all see the pictures I posted on Snapchat last night? I was at a gala last night, dressed to impress gala / fundraiser last night. Y'all should see the pictures I posted on Snapchat, because I gave away some of my books. Actually, I gave away 4 of my books. Buy a Game, Mental Handbook, Mirror Motivation, Super You. I gave those away. 3 of them went to really young kids. I didn't know if it was going to adults or kids, but 3 of them went to kids. 1 of them went to an adult. My Snap is at Dre Baldwin. Dre, can somebody please post that? At Dre Baldwin. At Dre Baldwin. DREBALDWIN at Dre Baldwin. Or you just go to dreallday.com/Snapchat. It'll take you right there. Is a month good enough to get a lot better at ball? I don't know. Hit me in a month and let me know. Did the event impress me enough to stay? Yeah, it did impress me enough to stay because they was giving away my books and they didn't do it till the end. It was like the last thing they gave away, and then they was like, Dre will autograph the books for you. So of course I wanted to stay and autograph them because I was like, yo, I gave my girl my phone, like, yo, take pictures of these. And she was snapping for me. So yeah, hit that. At Dre Baldwin. At Dre Baldwin is my Snapchat. Y'all can see the pics from last night. What else I want to tell you? I got a book on people skills coming out very soon. I got a couple programs that I'm going to be announcing this Wednesday. One of them is going to be on people skills. Another one's going to be called Get the Girl, for you young men who want some information, some resources on how to approach and get the females that you want. And the third one is going to be on the bulletproof mindset, mental toughness. All three programs will be announced this Wednesday via email. So make sure you are on my email list, dreallday.com. If you ain't get my book, Buy a Game yet, put your email address in and a pop-up that comes up and you'll get it. How do you control your emotions? That's a deep question. Read my books, The Mental Handbook and The Mirror of Motivation. What's my plans for the next 5 years? Well, one of them is to empower as many people as possible. I got a lot of plans. Not all of them are public information. All right, so anybody else got any way you want to reach me? Of course, Snapchat at Dre Baldwin. My website's dreallday.com. You can hit me on email, dre@dreallday.com. You confronted the cold shower. That's what's up. See, now you're not afraid of cold showers. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a fantastic Sunday. Work on your game. Dre all day. Make sure you get my first book, Buy a Game. It is free. Click the link right here below in the video description. I'm on all your favorite social media platforms, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope. All the links are right down here below. Is either Dre Baldwin or Dre All Day on each one of those sites. And make sure you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button down there and the thumbs up like button. Subscribe so you catch all the new content. Work on your game. Dre all day.